was the one. She was the only one. There have been so many people I've killed over the years. But her, she was the only one who ever escaped. She was the one that got away.
Once upon a time, a man named Calypso regularly held a tournament. It was a grisly contest of vehicular carnage in which entire cities were razed as the competitors destroyed everything around them in their quest for victory. But for many years now, the screams have gone silent. For the first time in over a decade, there's an all-new Twisted Metal for consoles, and it recaptures the large-scale destructive fun of the series' best games. As long as you're open to this brand of insanity, you're sure to enjoy the beautiful chaos of Twisted Metal.
Winding roads, dried blood on the asphalt, and plenty of plunges right to your death.
Just as the guns are central to the quality of any shooter, the vehicles are central to the quality of any vehicular combat game, and Twisted Metal's assortment of deadly machines on wheels is terrific. There's speed and maneuverability available in sports cars like Kamikaze. If you're more concerned with durability, you might opt for the police SUV Outlaw. Classic Twisted Metal vehicles are joined by a few new ones, including Talon, a helicopter whose fragility is offset by its devastating ability to lift enemies into the air and drop them to the ground far below. The controls are fantastic, and even the most lumbering vehicles can turn on a dime. This extreme flexibility opens the door for some amazing encounters. Throw indestructible environments, and Twisted Metal makes you feel like a powerful, amoral god.
Night. Oh, it ends tonight, Calypso. And it ends with me. For my god has come, and he has given me the honor of waking the suffering from their slumber of fear.
Your objective in Twisted Metal varies depending on the game type, but it usually involves turning the other vehicles into flaming husks. Each vehicle has a special weapon that regenerates over time, as well as a standard sidearm and other abilities. Additionally, there's a great variety of weapons strewn about the battlefield, so you're given a reason to scramble around the arenas. Some weapons, like homing missiles, you can fire and forget. Other weapons, like power missiles, can do significantly more damage, but require a straight, clear shot, and finding that isn't easy in the heat of battle. On the surface, Twisted Metal may look like absolute chaos, with vehicles ramming into each other and explosions happening all over the place. But in fact, there's a great deal to consider at any given moment, and once you get used to taking it all in, Twisted Metal becomes an exhilarating dance of steel and fire. But what about the participants? Whereas earlier games featured a different story for each vehicle's driver, here the single-player story involves just 3 contestants. In another departure, the unbreakable link between driver and vehicle is gone. You can drive any available vehicle as whichever driver the story is currently focused on. This means you're never stuck driving a vehicle you don't like, but for Twisted Metal veterans, using Outlaw while advancing through Sweet Tooth's story might feel a bit like playing as Guile while progressing toward Ryu's ending in Street Fighter II. Still, the live-action cutscenes are grisly, grindhouse-style fun, and Calypso's in top form when it comes to fulfilling wishes in wonderfully twisted ways. The endings make a fine reward for your hard-earned victories over the story mode's impressive bosses, though the feeling of triumph these battles leave you with is a reward in itself. One particular stage of the second boss battle may have you tearing your hair out in frustration, but for the most part, these face-offs are tough but fair, and they leave you feeling like a champion when you emerge victorious. The story mode can be tackled by 2 players via split screen, but disappointingly, there's no option to play the campaign cooperatively online. Up to 4 players can also play split screen deathmatch and other competitive modes, but it's in the large-scale online multiplayer battles that Twisted Metal really shines. In addition to deathmatch, there's Last Man Standing and Hunted, all of which have team variants. There's also Nuke, a team-based mode in which your goal is to capture an enemy chieftain and speed him or her to a missile launcher, where the chieftain is sacrificed and you guide a missile into the other team's statue, which is an explosive and satisfying way to help your team. In all of these modes, the human element gives battles a dynamic energy that's thrilling from moment to moment. Unfortunately, at this point, getting into these online battles isn't nearly as smooth and hassle-free as it should be. Connection errors are common when attempting to join games. Hopefully these kinks will be ironed out quickly, because the underlying online experience is immensely enjoyable. This brand of vehicular combat is every bit as thrilling today as it ever was, and you may be left wondering why it stayed away for so long. But what really matters is that it's back now, and it is great. Calypso hasn't forgotten how to throw one hell of a competition.
Hell of an entrance.